I'm Danny.
And I'm Althea.
And we are
DNA Live, baby. I love when he does that. Okay, so we have a very good show today. But before we do that, we do anything else, I wanted to first have like a music alert. Okay. Give me some horns, please. Okay, thank you very much. This is regarding a very beautiful artist that we have worked with in the past and actually have been on the show. She actually did our first show this year. Her name is Michelle Langone. And she had she had this hit single that she got coming out right now, and it actually dropped on Friday, April 11th. And Danny actually got to premiere it exclusively on the DJ Energetic show, which is on Friday nights at 9 o'clock with M City Jr.
Big shout out to M City.
We love M City.
Exactly.
And they, premiered it on that show, but I wanted to give everybody a little taste of it. Go download it because it's a really good song. So if you don't mind, can you play a little bit, please, for me?
No matter what, I'm pulling up on you. No matter what, I'm put some love on you. No matter what, I'm put some love on you. No matter what, I'm pulling up on you. No matter what, I'm put some love on you. No matter what, I'm put some love on you.
No matter what comes between us, no matter how life treats us, no matter the valley's depth or the mountain's height, can't get the vision out of my sight. I see you in the signs, and when I look up at the stars on the darkest night, no matter how long you run or how far, just promise me you'll hold me again in your arms. I wanna be held in your arms. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Never running out of love, always pouring from your filled up cup. You know you always gonna do what it takes, no matter what.
No matter what, I'm pulling up on you. No matter what, I'm put some love on you. No matter what, I'm put some love on you. No matter what, I'm pulling up on you. No matter what, I'm put some love on you. No matter what, I'm put some love on you. Quavo.
Anyway, go out and get that song. It's called No Matter What by Michelle Langone, and it's featuring Quavo Huncho. Next up, I wanted to talk about real quick was Chris Milo.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to actually be playing July 27th at the South Bay Music Festival, and that is a big to-do in Long Island, and he's actually performing there with other bands like Men at Work, Ambrosia.
Keep going.
There's a Depeche Mode band there as well, Naked Eyes, and it's hosted by Larry the Duck Dunn of SiriusXM and WLIR. So just, put that on your calendar for July 27th. I'm going to be there. So the Great South Bay Music Festival, people, go check it out, okay? Just put it on your calendar. After that, I just wanted to remind everybody, you can download the DNA, D&A digital media app. You'll get all of our live streams. You'll get the DJ Energetic show. You'll get DNA Live, and also the Sunday Freestyle Spectacular. And that's on Sundays between 4 and 8, right?
Yep.
4 and 8 p.m. So it's all freestyle music. And we've had actually a couple of the freestylers on your show on DJ Energetic. We had Raquel and Jocelyn Enriquez. So, you can check it out on the app. Okay, with that said.
Real quick.
Go
I got one thing.
Oh, you got
Hit the alarm.
Hit the alarm? Okay.
So DNA is officially, right?
Okay.
It's officially going to be in Texas and in, go ahead.
Where?
Nashville.
Oh, Nashville, Tennessee. You know what it is with you? Every week you pretty much give me like you bamboozle me with a new place. So
another thing too is people don't realize you can watch the DNA show every Wednesday in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Channel 29, as well as you can watch it in New Mexico, Channel 8. Okay, every Friday. Excuse my language. I didn't give them it. Wednesday in DC.
Okay.
8 to 9.
All right.
New Mexico.
Nice.
10 to 11 p.m. And in California, San Francisco, 31 at 7 to 8. There you go.
And you just decided to spring that on me right now.
You know what? I just forgot about it.
Okay.
And the DNA show is syndicated on 100 plus stations across the country and international.
Is there anything else that you want to tell me that you haven't discussed with me?
I rule. Okay.
Okay, you think so. Anyway, excuse me. Coming up, we have a very special guest. He's the songwriter, the producer. I mean, this guy has a lot under his belt. And he's also, he has very good genes. And I'll explain that once he's on the show, okay? But we'll go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we'll have Andy Goldmark right here on DNA.
Welcome to Paradise Content Creation Studios, where your creativity finds its perfect home. Imagine a space where innovation meets inspiration at every corner. Our state-of-the-art facilities are designed to transform your ideas into extraordinary realities. Whether you're crafting cinematic masterpieces or viral content, we have it all covered. Join a community of creators who dare to dream and push the boundaries of possibility. With cutting-edge technology and a passionate team, your projects are destined for greatness. Step into a realm where every detail is meticulously crafted for your success. At Paradise Content Creation Studios, unleash the power of your imagination and watch it soar.
Eres bella, tus ojitos me iluminan, aunque no quiera, me tiene loco en la cabeza. Guardo tus fotos, no las he borrado, y tus besitos no los he olvidado. Eres bella, I think about you all the time, but it's been 2 years now since I last saw you, y no sales de mi mente.
And we're back.
Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have the pleasure of introducing this gentleman to the world. Please, everybody, welcome Andy Goldmark to the show.
Look at all those lovely plaques.
Oh my God, you got a whole thing over there. My God, am I on one of those plaques behind you or something? Oh gosh, I can't hear you, Andy. Andy, I can't hear you. You got to put your speaker. We can't hear his speaker. Andy, check your speaker. Check your speaker, hon. Can you hear me?
He just needs to make sure his microphone's on.
You got to make sure your microphone's on, man.
Is your microphone on?
Go get it.
Okie doke.
This man was born on microphones. You can see it. Look.
I know.
All plaque. Look at this. All
those plaques behind him. Come on, Andy. We need you.
You could try refreshing the whole application.
Oh, okay. He can try refreshing the whole application. Oh, I can. He's mouthing, but I can't hear him. Andy, we need you.
Wait, hold up.
Well, maybe I can do sign language.
He starts laughing.
You heard me.
All right, so what you going to do right now, Andy? Do you see in there, do you see a microphone?
Do you see a microphone on the screen? Okay.
Okay, what you're going to do is, I think the microphone is in mute on your side. So what you're going to do is you're going to click it.
Click on the microphone.
Almost.
Oh, there you go.
Now say something.
See, the problem is, it's not that he's muted or unmuted. I just think his microphone is not currently being allowed by his phone, so that's why he might need to refresh
Okay, refresh your phone.
and just make sure he allows both his camera and his microphone.
What you're gonna do is you're going to log off and then come back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, log off and then come back on. And then when you do it again and it says accept everything and click on it and it's gonna go and we'll be right there to talk. But
I wish I could understand. I wish I could lip sync.
you're gonna shut it, you're gonna shut it off, you're gonna shut the application off, and you're gonna come back. Shut it off and then come right back.
Okay. He's going off. He's going to come back. Okie doke. Maybe. Maybe not.
Nope. Yep.
Well,
shut
we're
up.
going to wait for him.
So,
to
ladies
come-
and gentlemen, our guest is very popular,
Yeah.
very amazing. Why don't you give a quick brief about him real quick while he
Okay.
comes back? Go ahead.
All right. Well, very interesting individual. If you guys don't know who he is, but his father, okay, his father was Peter Carl
All right, here we go.
Goldmark.
There
okay.
we go.
Oh yes!
You're kidding. Here we go. All right. Touchdown.
Let's go. Let's go.
Fantastic.
Let's go. We got it.
We
Well,
got
thank
it.
you, everybody, for this great show. It's nice to see you. And
Love you.
we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I really
You
do.
are not going anywhere.
I feel like, like in the Super Bowl pass, like when your team just wins the damn Super Bowl. That's how I felt. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, put it up right here.
Here we are. Yo, touchdown.
And I get so excited to get you here. So,
Go ahead.
okay, but let me just start something, okay? Because I mean, he's famous in his own right, okay?
Okay.
But the lineage and the genetics with this individual,
Genetics.
well, your genetics, okay?
Yes, I love it.
He's the son of the inventor of the LP, okay? This is
Ooh.
the son of a Hungarian engineer that came from Europe, right?
Go ahead.
This guy received the medal from George Bush. Oh no, Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is he comes from this genetic of like the contributions that his father did, right? The development of communication sciences for education, entertainment, culture, and human service. He received the National Medal of Science.
Mm.
So this is the genetics that this beautiful individual already has in his system. Okay. So then, I mean, it's true, right?
The
I mean,
creative mind. That's crazy, though, to have a
Yeah.
family member that invented the EP.
the LP.
Yeah.
The LP. Yeah.
It's just the fact that if I had if my father was the president of the United States,
I wouldn't be sitting here.
You would. Well, that's true. You wouldn't be here. I'd be somewhere else.
But you know what's really cool is
Yeah.
that his best friend was a guy named Dennis Gabor. Okay. My middle name, by the way.
Oh.
And in the 1960s, on Sunday, my dad would take me down to his laboratory where he gave space to Dennis so Dennis could develop his little pet project called holography.
Wow.
Dennis would go on to win the Nobel Prize for inventing holography.
Oh,
That-
wow.
So listen, guys,
What?
I just got to get that up because you've kind of opened up a Pandora's box, but I love it. Any chance I can get to talk about this. My dad's closest neighbor was Benny Goodman.
Oh
Now-
my God. Benny
So,
Good. Well, you wouldn't know Benny.
I know who Ben.
Benny Goodman is one of the greatest jazz artists
That-
of all
yeah.
time. I mean, one of the greats of all time. And on Sunday evenings, because my dad and he were friends, Benny would come up to my father's house in Stamford, Connecticut, and play clarinet with my dad, who didn't play cello. He sawed cello. It sounded like, oh my God, God bless him, an electric saw. And Benny, being the friend that he was, he didn't mind, because mostly Benny had had a few shots of whiskey.
Oh God. That's too funny.
Now, what happens was I had a go-kart. My dad had a long driveway. So I would be riding my go-kart and there was room for one car only. And I'd be at the top and I would see up was walking Benny with his clarinet over his shoulder. You could hear the whiskey. You could smell the whiskey 40 feet in advance. And I went, oh, shit. Benny. It's Benny. And he's in my way.
Oh my God.
So he would come up and he'd look at me and he'd say, hey, kid, how's it going?
Oh,
And
God.
I was so livid that he was in my way. I'd rev the engine and he'd say, okay, kid, no problem. I'll see you up there.
Oh, wow. You probably have so many stories.
We're a lot of
You
famous
know?
people. Wow.
I'm lucky I do. It was a really funny upbringing, but I was totally lucky to have such a wackadoodle dad who did so many great things and was musical. There was music running through all of our veins all the time. And I got the bug, and I started writing songs at a very young age of 15, and was lucky enough to get my first meeting with the legendary A&R man at CBS at the time. And we had a blast. I got shuffled off to the publishing arm of CBS Records, April Blackwood Music, and I was on my way. Made a life out of it.
I mean, because he was also working for CBS Laboratories, right? And that's
Yes, that's right. So he knew everybody at the company. But it was a very unusual way to see creativity in its finest fashion. Really, I was lucky.
I can imagine how many, because the LP he didn't stop there. I mean, he did so many other things. Well,
he did. I mean, he was the original inventor of color television,
right?
And he developed the forerunner of VHS and Beta, and he also developed the camera that Neil Armstrong took to the moon and sent back those pictures.
Dude, I have it all here.
Yeah.
I was going through it.
Go ahead. Oh, look.
It
Wow.
was because it just fascinated, because I mean, you have to kind of go back a little bit to understand the person, the individual that you're interviewing, right?
Mhm.
Because you get their background and stuff. And I mean, he had a flourishing Black background to work with, and I can only imagine the things that he learned from his dad, right?
Yeah.
That you brought forward.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing. Not everybody gets that opportunity,
Yeah. And yet the most important lesson I learned of anything from him was don't ever stop. Keep knocking against walls. Keep running into walls. Keep making zigs and zags. Turn right, turn left, but don't ever stop. And that's what I watched him do.
Yeah.
And so to me, the inventing process, which became for me the writing process, was chip away, chip away, chip away until you finally get there, and you will know when you get there.
Yeah. So he has produced. Okay. Now this, I mean, it's just like when I was reading you and researching you and looking at your bio and stuff, I was like, I know that song. Because he did Jennifer Paige, Crush, right?
Wow.
He did songs for Michael Bolton and Peebo Bryson, Kenny G, the Commodores, Patti LaBelle, Shall I Go On? Carly Simon, I mean, just looking at the Jermaine Jackson, Jeffrey Osborne, Shall I Go On? But I'm just saying, and when I looked at the resume of this gentleman, I was like, that is pretty impressive. And not even impressive, it blew my mind. And then when I started reading about your father, I was like, no wonder, because you're a genius too.
Well, thank you. That's very kind. But yeah.
Because it doesn't matter where the product came from. It it's how it develops and how it goes forward, right?
Yeah.
And you took whatever you had growing up. You're a superstar in my book.
Yo, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I really do. I just, feel like mostly I'm also extremely lucky. So to be able to do what I've been able to do and to just scratch out enough along the way to keep doing it. So, it eventually comes right.
Yeah, you know why? Because a lot of people can come from that kind of lineage and genetics and stuff and do nothing with it.
Yep.
You know what I'm trying to say? And they waste it. And other people like yourself, it's not like you're capitalizing it, but you're just using what you have and making good out of it and making people's lives brighter. And, and you have a lot of
I still can't believe that, like, when you really look at everything that you've seen, you already know that you were going to be starting for greatness. You know what I'm saying? Because you were around somebody that was great, and he was there to make you even greater.
Right.
But the crash course for me was realizing pretty early on, and thank goodness I learned it early on, was you can't ever take any of that for granted. Being, around that when you're growing up, lucky, but I could never assume that just because he had it, just
Right.
because the people around him had it, and I was used to seeing it and think, well, this is normal. I could never take it for granted. And I learned that lesson. It was a hard one to learn, really and truly. It was like, it just happened to be that set of circumstances I was, raised up in.
Right.
But I had to learn to work and bust my
Your own
ass
grind,
like
and you had to
every
learn how to
single
do it
other person
yourself.
did.
You learn how to do it yourself, but the good thing is you at least had a teacher. You
Yes.
didn't. What I liked, what you just basically said was you weren't. That even though that you were there in front of it, it wasn't given to you. You had to earn it.
Yes.
That's what I
Well
like
put.
a lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I like a lot. What I like a lot too is when I hear this, right, and then I see all the achievements that you did. Is that you basically learned your own craft off of your old man. But it's not like that. It's that your old man, you saw what your old man did, and you were like, oh, wait a second. This is where I fit in, and this is how I can be great from the family, from the family.
Yeah.
That's great from the legacy.
But you know what? It's kind of like you got to look at it too, because you and him share the same type of quality, because you had a father that was in the business, that was a breakdancer, that did all the hip hop and rap and all that stuff.
That did a
right?
lot of big things,
So
a lot of big artists. Yeah.
Right. So you grew up with that, and you took that in, right? And you developed your own.
Well,
And
I
that's what
felt
he
like
did.
I had to keep the family legacy alive. Like, you feel that way too?
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. It's the feeling like you are indebted and you're responsible at the same time. And you feel like that's something that you carry around, and you learn to, as I know you did, is you learn to not let that hold you down. You use that to inspire you and take you higher.
I got another name. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I never used his name. I went and I used his name, but then I built my own name from it. Same way as you. You had, that was your father, but you had to build your own name in the industry for people to really take you seriously where you're at the point now.
Yeah, you just nailed it. Exactly the way you said it. You should write that down. That's perfect for a plaque.
I'm going to write that down right now. Can you say it
That's
again?
really good.
Well, that's the artist to another artist. Like, he's an artist, no matter what. Created these records and created these songs.
Yeah,
that's his artistry going into the universe. And when you're an artist and you make something going into the universe, you created that pattern.
Yeah,
like a lot of people lose that when they go, okay, I just wrote a record. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, this artist is gonna sing it, but you're not on it. But you're the inventor of this artist that basically brought out this music, this melody, and this thing. You brought this to the universe, so everybody universal got it because of you. That energy.
Yeah.
And how often for you did you have to go? You went back to the wellspring of passion that you saw in your family and your father, and how much did that help you? Because it helped me enormously. If I had anything going for me, it's the fuel of passion of loving what I did. That was it that I could always depend and rely upon.
You know what I love too? I love when your father looks at you, right? And it could just be for just one glimpse. Of a second, and he looks at you and he sees him in you, and then it just shocks him, because it's like, even though you're his offspring, right? He always feels like that's basically him, and it made him very proud to see me go and actually go, D, I want to do this on my own. I love your name. I'm gonna use the name, but let me go on my own and try to figure this thing out. And I felt like that's what made him respect me a lot more than me just walking in and try to be somebody with his name. And that's what I love the most about it. Was I'm not gonna say I earned my dad's respect, because our fathers always want to see us do better than they do, because that's the only man in life that wants to see you do better than anything. You know what I'm saying? So you already know that. But he when I looked into his eyes, man, and just seeing the happiness, me and him actually got a billboard together.
Yeah.
We did a record together, and me and him charted number 22 on the Billboard charts in the Latin market. So for me and him to do that achievement, I felt like that's when I realized, right? everything that we went through for almost 20 something years in the struggle for that one record to go and that one record to hit number 1 on the iTunes urban charts in the USA made us look at each other. It was like, man, you did it.
Well, speaking of that, which song? Obviously, like I saw that Jennifer Paige, obviously she was one of the biggest ones that got 40 million views on YouTube for that song Crush. I used to love that song too.
Very good song.
There's nobody that doesn't know that song.
Can you explain though the writing method to actually like what basically made you decide to make that record?
Well, the thing is that I found Jennifer and signed her to my production company, and we got this deal. I got a deal through Ater Records, and so we were making an album. And about 3/4 of the way, Ater didn't think I had a first single. And so I went to Jennifer and I said, look, they don't think we have a first single here. I got to go write one. And so this is going to take a second, but I got to at least make sure that base is covered.
Right.
So I went and did it. Wrote a song with my buddy Mark Muller. And I knew the minute the first chorus was done that it was a hit.
Wow.
So went in, cut the track with Jennifer. She nailed the vocal. She killed it. Just one of my favorite singers of all time. And I mixed it and I played it for the head of the label, Ater here. And he's a great guy and he was giving us a great chance, but he didn't hear it as a single at all.
Usually they don't.
So what happened was it really got into a real standoff, and I said, look, time is passing us by. It's spring. We got to get this out for summer. We can't wait. He said, well, I just don't hear it. And so what happened was I figured I got to force their hand. I got to get this out there, whether they hear it or not, because I know it's a hit. So Diane Warren, who's, the great songwriter, she and I wrote a hit together, and she turned me on to Kiss FM. She and Dorian, they sent me up to Kiss FM to meet with their program director, Tracy Austin. So I was doing this all unbeknownst to the label. And I went and played for Tracy, and she turns around when the record's done. She said, I've been looking for this record for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
I wanted this pop record because everything at that point was more alternative, grungy, more edgy, more cynical, sarcastic. This was a bright, beautiful little pop song that was unusual. She said, got to play it for my program director, Dan Kiley. So she played it for Dan. Next day, they say, when can we see her? When can she perform at any Kiss FM function between now and Christmas? Give us that guarantee and we'll start playing it. And they did, and it blew up. And it became a huge hit through all of their stations. That was just one of the most gratifying parts of the story. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to write a bunch of hits, but what made this special is that it really had Cinderella all over it. Everything was against us. Everything was moving, the other way. And I got a chance to break down the door, literally beat down the door and take it to the horse's mouth. People like you guys at radio, Howie Rosen at radio, that I trust, that I revere since I was born. I took it to the well.
Can I say something to you? It always starts that way.
Yeah.
You always had that dude that always stopped. There was a single, I'm not gonna say which single, but there was a single. They were like, "Nah, I'm really not feeling it." And you were like, "Oh, okay, so you're not feeling it. All right, cool." All of a sudden, we did the same thing. My cousin shot him out. We did the same thing. We went quietly. We went underneath the ground, and all of a sudden, started picking up. A&R came, the head of the whole. Oh yeah, man! I really believed in that record. We're gonna take that record right now, and we're gonna be pushing that. We're gonna push it all around, and you're looking at them and being like, "It's always the record that they say that they don't like. That's always the record that takes off."
Yeah, but you know it in your belly. You know it's a hit.
Yeah.
And so you follow that instinct. You follow that passion seed, and you go for it.
Yeah.
And when it works, it works.
That was beautiful.
It's just
no, it was beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like.
All right, out there you go. I like it. It's time for another version.
That's amazing, though.
Because I grew up with that song and that other song, the Baby Woo Woo Woo.
Yeah, Jeffrey Osborne.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, these are the hits that I grew up with, and so I really enjoyed it. So anyway, but Jennifer Paige, I mean, it's always that one single that kind of like takes off.
Yeah.
He went into the radios. People that's watching right now, independent artists, because a lot of independent artists watch us. Radio is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Get the word out there. I know everybody thinks streaming and all of this other stuff will help you, but radio really gets the word out there. And I keep trying to push it to everybody out there. Radio is the most important key to success to make a hit record.
Yep.
It's the megaphone. It's the megaphone for all our feelings.
Yep. There you go.
I like that.
Oh, I love his words. Megaphone for all our feelings. I'm gonna write that down.
You got some. Oh man, he got some gems over here.
I know. I'm just writing whatever he says.
Right.
Songwriter
so let's get. I want to get another story. Let's get another story about.
Okay. Soul Provider with Michael Bolton. Tell us about that one.
Soul Provider. That's an interesting one. A mutual friend of Michael's and mine put us together and said, you guys need to write together. And Michael was just coming out with his first single. That's What Love Is All About. And it was taking off. And he was really starting to get known. And Nancy said, you and Michael really should write. And Michael knew about me. So we got together to write a song. And that was it. And he was starting to look toward his next album and putting that together and writing that. And I was writing a song for, of all people, Linda Ronstadt. And I was and the chorus, I was well into writing the song, and I wrote this chorus. I thought, man, that would be so cool if she sang that, I want to be your soul provider. If that came from a woman to a man, really flip it on its head. So Michael comes over and he says, what's going on? I said, well, here's something I'm working. I played it for him. He says, oh man, we gotta do this. We gotta really bring this in. And I said, okay, what do you got in mind? He says, well, I'm really close with James Ingram. I said, yeah. Well, James and I love each other. Let's write this. It's for him. Let's go. And I said, okay, no problem. I didn't know Linda. She didn't know me. So no one was going to get hurt. So we wrote the song, and about halfway through, almost finishing it, he says, you know what? I don't think it's good for James. I said, really? I said, who's it good for? And he says, I think it's good for me.
Wow.
I said, really? Okay. And at that point, his single was going up, up, and up. And I said, well, twist my arm,
He said, just take it.
And so it took us for some reason a long time to finish it, but we eventually did. And then the song was produced by my buddy Pete Bonetta and Rick Chitikoff. They went and they did the record, and it came, and I listened to it. They did a beautiful job. I thought, this is really great. And then I heard that it was going to be the first single off his next album, which was going to be called Soul Provider. And I said, man, this is right on time. I'm really in a sweet spot here. So I called Donnie Einer, who at that point was head of promotion at Columbia Records. And I said, Donnie, I said, this is wonderful. I knew him from Arista days and writing with Carly Simon, and what she and I did together. So we were talking. I said, why did you choose Soul Provider of all the songs on this album, the first single? And he gave one of the smartest answers I've ever heard. And he said, I chose Soul Provider because that's exactly what he is. I thought, and I thought that's a smart man. That's somebody who doesn't just think in terms of numbers and dollars and cents, but he's got a connection. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and that one got 55 million views on YouTube.
But listen, that's only on YouTube, okay? YouTube wasn't back in those days. So you gotta add that to probably 1 billion right now.
Well, yeah.
Think about all the people that listen to that record.
Yeah,
I remember the record.
But look, if it's got 50-something million right now on there, and the other one's got 40.
40, right? But that
think about when it first got released, and then it became platinum, and then it went gold. Platinum first, so. You got to think about all those other people too.
Yeah,
radio stations that hit. See, people don't realize neither is because I do a lot of radio stuff, and when I look at the charts, right, and I see how many spins it gets, like a lot of these records, man, from over the years added up more spins than you can think of.
But then you think about how many people around the world heard that song.
Exactly.
You go, and how many people was I able to reach?
Right.
I mean.
That's why he's got all those
millions everywhere heard what I was saying and felt from my heart. I got a chance to have their ear for 3 minutes. I mean,
Right.
how lucky is that?
How lucky is that? Yeah.
It's, you know, it's beyond all of that. Is like sometimes I have this image of some girl in Nebraska I've never met and never will, and some couple in the Philippines who I've never met and never will, and they heard this song, and
they heard the song.
what little thing did it do to them in that moment?
Yeah. But you know what? You're a great man. So, but you know what?
Some of the music.
I know. Well, let me just say, because there's also Ando's Record Shop. We only got 15 minutes left because I want to get that song in, Big Old Coconut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought it was hilarious. Okay. So introduce the song.
Yes, please.
Big Old Coconut.
I wish I was a big old coconut swinging high up in a tree. When the sun get up in the morning, it come down and have a little peek at me. Friends and neighbors grew worried as can be about the boy there down the strange street. When they see him climbing up a tree one day, they pull him down to the ground. They try to explain. Hey, you, what about your human responsibilities and the laws of practicality? The boy said, what about some room to breathe? Knowledge of mine while I climb back up my tree. I wish I was a big old coconut swinging high up in a tree. When the sun get up in the morning, it come down and have a little peek at me. Now the elders ask, what do you wish to be? A coconut when you could raise a family, lead a life of fruitful industry. But the boy responds, that's not the life for me. Listen, smarty fans, don't talk fancy to me. You're young and bold, so you miss what others see. The boy said, better young and bold than timid and old. I see what others miss and they miss what I see. I was a big old coconut singing high up in the tree. When the sun get up in the morning, it come down and have a little peek at me. Now the citizens talking about the boy and tree and the danger he presented to society. It's not the kind of thing our children should see. I'm afraid we must ask our coconut friend to leave. Oh boy. Oh boy. When the citizens gone to take the boy away, they were taken by surprise by a tidal wave. The sweep away the others will eat one tree, and at the top, if you stop, you can hear a boy sing. I'm glad I am a big old coconut swinging high up in a tree. When the sun gets up in the morning, it come down and have a little peek at me. Oh, I'm glad I am a big old coconut swinging high up in a tree. When the sun gets up in the morning, it come down and have a little peek at me. Ooh.
Oh my God.
You know what? I really do love that record.
It's such a, you know, like I actually almost hurt myself, but I was jumping over here.
No, I do like that record because that record is very creative in a time period where people are not that creative right now.
Yeah.
Well, you know what also? These days, who doesn't want to be a big old coconut up in a tree somewhere?
That's true. I wouldn't mind being on a coconut tree. I do like coconut. I mean, but when I first saw it, I was like, big old coconut. I was like, really, dude? You know? And then when I started playing it, I was like, you know, like we always get songs and we're never quite sure what we're going to get.
Right.
We're never sure.
Yep.
But when I started hearing it, the minute, like the second it was like playing, I was like, oh, this is good. Oh, I like this, you know, and then big old coconut. I'm like, he has that voice for those type of songs. Those pick me up kind of songs, you know.
What's cool about that record too is I really could see that in like one like a I know it's crazy, but a Disney kind of movie kind of thing.
Yeah, animation.
Animation. So it's like, to me, that song is dope because one, I like the concept, is different, and it shows his writing ability.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like you were saying, like, you know, people just want to be away from everything and just want to relax. And it's a really good song. It's an uplifting kind of song.
Yeah,
It reminded me one of them. It really did remind me of one of those animation kind of movies.
Yeah.
the character will come walking in. You see the sun. You see them in a cool vehicle. So that's what it reminded me of. Even with the coconut sitting there by the beach.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
It could have been
Exactly.
like used in like Mohana or something,
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like those kind of things.
like the Hawaiian.
Like Hawaii, yeah.
Like Hawaiian.
I mean, the song itself serves as like a script for a movie. You know, it's a
Very
it's
great
a,
song.
It's a pitch unto itself. So
So we can make this into a movie.
absolutely.
I could star in it.
Yeah.
She's the
Hey,
big
we
old
got the
coconut.
I'm the big old coconut. I'll
first
wear-
animated feature from Strong Island TV.
There you go. I'll wear the
Give a clap
coconut
on that
hat. I
one.
don't mind. I did that once before. I've done that. I did that. I've actually wore one of those, you know.
I know.
Okay. I'm just saying I could throw it out there. I'm pretty good at acting.
So real quick, let me ask a quick question. So what made you decide to make that record?
I'm sorry, say what made me decide what? To
To
do
make
that one?
record.
to make that record.
Make that record. Well, I loved, okay. Honestly, I wasn't sure, but I played it for a couple people. Then I played it for the guy who co-produced it with me, and amongst other things. And that was the one that leapt out at everybody. And I kind of went, really? I said, I mean, I had fun with it. I really loved doing it. But you hear that as something everybody's going to love, and everyone's just like, absolutely. So I did get convinced to go out with it. But what I did love about it, what sparked me to do it, was just the feeling of freedom that anyone can have when you are a big old coconut. And the chances this little kid is willing to take climbing up a tree, being his own person, and into the heights of life, and looking down over the world and seeing all the things that are wrong from his perch up in the coconut tree, and being able to tell the townspeople what's wrong. I mean, it comes with a message. It's not just sort of like I wish I was a big old coconut.
Yeah.
It's like, so his little brain is seeing life as a kid on the ground, and then he's going up, and from the tree he becomes a philosopher king who's looking down and seeing all the problems we're having, and how we really don't, how you don't have to live by everybody's rules. You can make your own way in life.
Wow. And this is why he got 55 million views on Michael Bolton and 40 million.
Nah, he got plenty of
Okay.
plaques. You can really
I'm
count
just
them.
saying. And this is why, because when I saw that song, I was, yeah, it is about a coconut, but now with him telling me a little bit more, but tell us a little bit about, because we got a few minutes left.
Mhm.
Ando's record shop.
Ando's Record Shop. Okay. Ando's Record Shop, when I decided sometime around the pandemic that, I had something I really wanted to go back and re-achieve. I started out as a singer-songwriter in the early 70s, 1973, on Warner Brothers Records. When that didn't pan out, I became a staff songwriter at Warner Brothers. So I spent most of my career being behind the camera as a writer, producer. And I felt around that time of the pandemic, when there was time for everybody to think, and we had a lot of time to do that, I said, I got something I want to do here. I want to go back and I want to be a singer-songwriter again. That's not done. I'm not finished. And now I have craft behind it that I didn't have then. I have experience. I have a vision that I can see things through on that I wasn't capable of doing. I said, let's go try it. So first thing I think to myself is, okay, what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? And who's going to want to hear it? So I started to think those are things. I started writing things down. And finally I said, okay, I'm ready. I want to go for it. I want to pick a song by song, and put them out. And then I'm going as Andy Goldmark. And I thought to myself, I don't have to be Andy Goldmark. I have a brand new palette. And by the way, as a singer-songwriter, there's not that many people who know who I am. So let's invent a whole new persona. So I didn't know who that was. I had 100 different names. And then on my birthday, my 2 angel daughters gave me this hat that I'm wearing that said, "Happy birthday, Ando's Record Shop."
Wow.
You mean they came up with the name?
They came up with the name. My name growing up as a kid was Ando. My dad invented the record. And the shop is all the things that I make through records and putting them out there.
This guy,
Samuel, that's just
Ando record shop, his daughter. How beautiful is that?
It's
amazing.
He's all choked up right now.
Nah, it's just
You're all choked up.
because it's basically your whole life.
Yeah.
It is. It is, and the fact that when they gave that to me and it had it on the cake and it had it in the hat, and
Oh,
I was blown away. And then when I was thinking, of course, I'm Ando's record shop. It fits. It's
wow.
and it's honest.
Yeah.
It's not some fantasy trip. It just happens to be who I am.
Is that amazing?
It's art.
That is just, I mean,
It's art that reflects life.
Yes.
That's all you can say.
Yeah.
You are such a genuine soul. I mean, but everything that has transpired in his life was for a purpose. Is for a reason. There's a reason why everything that happened in his life, but he made it happen as well. I'm
Well,
just,
thank
I
you.
am blown away right now, especially with
Yeah.
the daughters doing that for you. I mean, whew,
When-
I am choked up right now. What about you?
Well,
Words.
it's something because my eldest daughter got a little bit of her grandfather's gene in her as well.
Oh,
And
really?
I'm especially proud of her, along with my other daughter. My wife and my oldest daughter have a company called MEJ, and it's a very successful hair fashion accessory company.
Oh,
So
wow.
she's now, developed a whole thing in fashion. So they came up with this hat, the two of them, and that's, I really was blown away and was very touched.
Are you actually writing any other songs right now?
Yeah, I have a new single that's going to be coming out in about 2 months,
What is it called?
and it's a song. I'm not going to hide it. I wrote it to my wife,
Aw.
and it's a song that basically it's the discovery of when I discovered all the ways that she's better than me.
Oh, you should
Yeah.
write a song like that.
I did. It was called Let Her Know.
I'm just saying.
I'm serious. I don't know any better song than that song.
That's true. Okay, you got me there. Okay, so what is the song called?
It's called Better Than,
Better
and
Than.
it's in the midst of being produced and mixed, and it'll be out in about a month or two, and we'll immediately get it to you guys. So
Please do. I would love to hear it.
You better.
absolutely.
Because I already know she's gonna be looking at me like, let her know what.
Yeah. No, it's just been such a pleasure. I'm kind of mad that we're not getting more time with you because we had the technical difficulty at the beginning. But
I think we got a lot of things done. I think honestly, man, he's got a huge but
we got to do part 2. Show with
we got to do part 2. We got to do part
do
2.
it. I'm in. Anytime we can do part 2, I'm up for it.
You know what? When that new single comes out,
right?
Yeah,
the new single comes out.
Come definitely on the show and let's dig more deep into it.
Oh, we'll have a field day with that one. Really, that'll be awesome, great fun to do.
Oh,
and
thank you so much. Again, Andy, remember everybody, Andy Goldmark, just go check him out. I mean, even if you just Google him, I mean, there's a whole, there's just so much about you on YouTube and Google and everything. So you can go check Andy out anytime. But of course, you'll find him here on DNA Live.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, thank you again so much. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you guys. I really do. I appreciate you guys so much. This has been so much fun. And talk about a rich experience. This really has been awesome. I really
thank you so much.
Listen, we're just as good as the guests we have on.
Exactly.
That's what I always say. It's not about us. It's about the guests that we have. Because if you're boring, we pretty much put a lot of music videos on.
Why you gotta tell everybody what we do?
It's true.
Why you blowing up our spot?
I'm just saying. Oh, man. If you see more than 3 videos, you'll know why.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. So anyway, again, thank you very much. Thank you everybody for watching this beautiful man, Andy Goldmark. And we will have him back on the show soon with his new record. Okay. So thank you again, sir.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Amazing having you.
I know. He was great.
And to everybody out there, you already know it's your boy, Danny.
And Althea.
And we are
DNA Live, baby.
Casting off, baby. Have a good time, guys.
Stay on.